There's still the notion that Xbox releasing their games on other platforms devalues the console. Now, I've mocked this particular notion many times. In fact, I was able to go back as far as Horizon Zero Dawn, where the PlayStation fanboy base was also making the exact same case that if PlayStation were to take its games to PC, that the PlayStation brand would be devalued. In fact, there was a spout between a Joel Santos on Twitter. I have it bookmarked. I'm not going to go and scroll down. I mean, I got a lot of things bookmarked. If you guys want their videos to that effect, where they're claiming this user is responding to a former Guerrilla producer who worked on Horizon Zero Dawn, telling them that, can you imagine that somebody who worked on Horizon Zero Dawn does not know that if they bring their games that their company has built based on exclusivity to other platforms, it devalues the platform? So this particular record is of note, and you also see it on the Xbox side as well, where the crap gamer, is also complaining to Phil Spencer about this exact same thing. This is a console fanboy notion. This is not something that is based in business reality when companies are trying to stay profitable and more than likely not shaft their own customers. I see this particular notion rear its head again in a response to this comment from Samich, where he's talking about the, Trojan horse strategy. And one of our audience members said Xbox started devaluing their consoles when they started the cross PC platform, and the sales prove it. You see, the sales don't prove it because PlayStation is also doing cross platform and are selling more consoles. So which is it? Does putting your games on another platform devalue your console and hurt your sales? Or does putting your games on other platforms make it accessible to people who would have otherwise never, ever gone ahead to buy your platform in the first place? It's this reality that we're seeing. And you know what happened just, this last month? Xbox sold or got an increase in hardware uptick. Do you know why? Because people want the Xbox. Do you know why they want the Xbox? Because of the value that it provides. You can actually provide a value proposition that is attractive enough to gamers to bring them into your ecosystem. Or you can sell your games elsewhere as a publisher, but Game Pass is not doing what many other publishers, in fact, majority of the publishers are not touching what Xbox is doing with Game Pass. EA and Ubisoft are the only two that I know right now that are doing a subscription service that gives players access to their games day one for a subscription cost, of which none of them is even priced like Game Pass is. A lot of people don't necessarily pay attention to the fact that this particular strategy is designed to cause a rift in PlayStation Plus. Game Pass is an assault. Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate is not just a value proposition, it's a full frontal assault against PlayStation Plus, which is the core of exactly what PlayStation actually does in their business. In fact, it's showing up here on Reddit, on this subreddit over here, right? With the PlayStation Plus subreddit, having people talk about how Game Pass's differential in terms of what they're getting in quality is much better than what PlayStation Plus is offering. This differential, as you're looking through the responses, is causing people to make a move. There are some even in my comment section right now who tell me that they like what Xbox is doing, that they went ahead and got an Xbox because, according to them, they like the fact that Xbox is actually bringing games to the market, not only bringing games to the market, making options and making things affordable for people to actually play. I just saw the comment somewhere just now. You can scroll through all the comments in my videos if you have the time for that. I literally just saw it and it's gone away. But that's not going to be the first person that's saying that. In this particular PlayStation thread or PlayStation Plus thread on the subreddit, you'll see that people are talking about, oh man, I went ahead and got me a Series S just to have a side, console. But now I think I might go for the Series X as an investment into this ecosystem. And so that's basically what it is you're going to see. If devaluing the brand was the result, then PlayStation would also have faced a similar fate. But PlayStation also realizes that we can't sit here waiting for PC gamers to go ahead and what, sell their PC and go buy a PlayStation, or buy a side PlayStation, or buy a PlayStation that they only used to play one game, and then they look at the other games that we have and look and say $70. We're not gonna pay $70 for that at this moment in time. They gotta basically say, okay, if they're not gonna pay $70 at this moment in time, let's bring it to them. CD keys, $45, $50 for a lot of these games. Let's see if they're going to play them. They can't sit around waiting for, these people to go buy a PS5 just to play Spider-Man 2. I know someone who bought a PC gamer who bought a PS4 to play Marvel Spider-Man 1. He bought the Spidey version of the console, but he did not buy a PS5. Why would he want to do that? At the time, when the PS5 was coming out, new and exciting technology was basically coming on the PC platform. So he invested and, upgraded his PC. It's a downgrade for a PC gamer to go to console. I'm not trying to, insult anybody. I'm not trying to, talk down at anybody. It really is. Why would you go and give up all of the different, benefits that you have, including a cheaper option, for Game Pass, PC? So this is a very interesting, flashpoint in terms of the conversation, that if we start talking about devaluing the brand at this particular time, it makes no sense, because this is exactly what's going to make people on the other side get a taste of what's going. I will be shocked if by the end of this year, right? By the end of this year, Xbox has not sold more series consoles, right, than they already have in the past with the amount of games that they're bringing out. Because after all those year-on-year declines that they had, I think this year they might make up that differential at least. Then actually surpass that differential at best, because people are sensible. That's what you should hope, that people would actually, who want to play on console, would actually buy an Xbox. You know what I mean? You should, right? I mean, look at this one. The console subreddit. Why doesn't PlayStation Plus get good games like Xbox Game Pass? Dude, this is definitely what people are asking. This is definitely what people are asking. Right? So, it is what it is. Talk to me in the comment section. Appreciate you all so much. Peace out.